everyone, and welcome back to AustinPlays Gaming, where today we are again moving away from the gaming aspect of things, and we are going to be doing a ranking video again, where instead of ranking skins and other lots, we are going to be ranking the Winterfest events in Fortnite. Starting all the way back in 2027, all the way to 2024, Christmas events that have taken place in Fortnite. So without further ado, let's get into it. Short disclaimer, this is a personal ranking. This is not a heavily influenced by rankings of others. This is purely my opinion, so take it with a pinch of salt. Coming in at last place is Winterfest in 2027. Now this one is pretty straightforward for me because I wasn't playing Fortnite at the time or at all during this period. Fortnite was still very new, so I never really experienced it firsthand, so that's why for me this goes last. Because of this, it holds no personal nostalgia or impact for me. While I do respect that early players might see this as very special, especially old content creators, from my perspective it simply doesn't register compared to the years I've actually played. Winterfest 2017 was Fortnite's first real attempt at a Christmas event, taking place during the very early days of Battle Royale. The map received its first ever snow-covered areas, festive decorations appeared across the POIs, and Epic introduced holiday-themed cosmetics and skins, like the Merry Marauder and Crackshot, which would later become iconic skins. Limited time modes and festive lobby music helped establish the idea of seasonal events in Fortnite. However, because I wasn't playing at the time, I didn't experience any of this firsthand. So while it was historically important for the game, it has no personal impact on nostalgia for me. Coming in at place number 7, Winterfest 2023. Now, this is another one where I didn't play that much, mainly because it was really underwhelming. The biggest issue with this year was it was actually a complete lack of build-up. There was no trailer, no proper announcement, and no sense of anticipation. They just kind of threw it on you. While it felt like Winterfest quietly when you were in the game, there didn't seem to be any sort of promotion for it. There definitely was the in-game presence, but nothing else really. But compared to other years, it just didn't have the same atmosphere or hype. Winterfest 2023 was one of the weakest executions of the event. There was no proper trailer, no real marketing push, or no sense of build-up leading into it. The event essentially boiled down to presence appearing in-game without any surrounding hype or narrative. While there was still free cosmetics and festive items, the lack of atmosphere made it feel more like a checklist than a celebration. Compared to earlier Winterfest, it felt rushed and disconnected, which is why it ranked so low for me. But 2023 was when I absolutely loved playing Fortnite. I remember there was Lego Fortnite, new season, there was Fortnite Festival, so I think that might have had an impact, but this one fell flat and was really forgettable for me. Coming in at number 6 was Winterfest 2022. Now this ranking isn't because it was bad itself, but more because I didn't play much of Christmas this year. It was another season that released in December. It was Chapter 4 Season 1, and I don't remember playing a lot. I remember playing New Year's because I did a stream on New Year's Eve, but I wasn't actively engaged with the Christmas event. I don't even remember what the Christmas skins were, but you can see in the trailer in the background that there was stuff to do with the story, but none of the content really stuck with me. So as a result, it sits in the lower middle of the list. Not disappointing, but just not memorable either. There was I think there was the Ageless skin. There was a couple of obviously free skins as always. There was the Winterfest cabin. There was the Guff skin. Other than that, I do not remember really anything from it, which is unfortunate because Winterfest is supposed to be very memorable. I do remember the Hot Fortnitemares that year, and that was really bad, but you can only get what you give, really. Winterfest 2022 took place during a major transitional period for Fortnite, with chapter changes and new mechanics shifting the focus of the game, but this event still included presents, winter challenges, and returning festive cosmetics, but it felt slightly overshadowed by the broader direction Fortnite was taking at the time. The lodge remained, but it didn't feel like central or exciting as in previous years. Since I didn't play much during this Christmas that year, the event didn't leave a long, strong impression on me, even though the content itself was okay at best. Coming in at number 5 is Winterfest 2020. Now this is where we'll probably get a bit more descriptive because this is all the stuff that I definitely remember the back of my mind. Now this was a really solid year overall because it delivered what you would expect from Winterfest. It is plains, the snowy map, new skins, a lot of new skins which were all amazing. I wouldn't say anything really stood out other than like the planes returns, some free emotes, some free gifts, obviously as always. But also you have to remember when this took place, so a lot of people played it, a lot of people liked the new stuff because it took place during COVID. But nothing about this really truly stood out to compare to other Winterfest years that we're going to talk about. It had the festive vibes and content like we asked, but it didn't leave a lasting impression or define Winterfest in any meaningful way for me. Snowmando, the skin, was cool. The other one was just a bit of a letdown. However, I think it still provided the Christmas spirit we were all looking for that very year, so I do have to give it some credit for that. Winterfest 2020 defined the logic concept even more with better presentation and a large variety of rewards, and Epic added more daily presents including free skins like Snowmando along with reactive wraps and festive harvesting tools. The snowy map returned and winter themed LTMs cycled throughout the event. While the content was still solid and consistent, it didn't feel like a groundbreaking year. It was enjoyable and festive, but more a continuation rather than a standout evolution of Winterfest. Coming in at number 4 is Winterfest 2019. Now this was when Winterfest started to feel more like refined and definitely feel like the Christmas vibe we were all looking for. It was very consistent and very annual event that carried on with the free presents and everything. There was more identity and more engagement, and it felt like Epic was beginning to understand how Winterfest must go moving forward, and it showed the proper seasonal tradition that we all were asking for. It was a very strong year, just not top tier for me. 2019 took things further by introducing the Winterfest Lodge for the first time, which became a central hub for opening daily presents. Players could physically interact with the lodge, sit by the fire, and unwrap gifts that included skins, wraps, emotes, and pickaxes. This year also introduces LTM like snowball launcher fights and winter-themed gameplay variations, and the lodge added immersion and made the Winterfest feel more personal and interactive, helping solidify it as it's one of the strongest Fortnite holiday events. Taking third place and second and first into a major account, there is always 3 more to go, but Winterfest 2018 was definitely a very good thing to look back on. If we're all thinking about it properly, Winterfest 2018 was a goated one. And this was a very big step for Fortnite holiday events because it felt fresh, exciting, and genuinely festive. And they managed to create a whole season based on this snowy thing. Season 7 of OG is currently taking place in Fortnite, so do go check that out. But this was one of the first times Winterfest felt like something players actively looked forward to rather than just some small seasonal update. It set a foundation for what Winterfest would become in later years, but I would say 2019 really did put it all in motion with the presents in Winterfest cabin and all that. Winterfest 2018 was when Fortnite truly leaned into holiday theme. The map was heavily snow covered, creating a full winter atmosphere rather than just small changes, and Epic introduced festive items like chiller grenades, snowy biomes, and winter themed challenges that rewarded free cosmetics. This year also expanded the holiday skin lineup with fan favorites like Nogups, Yuletide Ranger, and returning classics. It felt playful, exciting, and very Fortnite-like, making the point where Winterfest became something players genuinely anticipated each year. In second place, I would put last year's Winterfest 2024. Now, this came very close to being number 1. It felt very modern, polished, and well put together, and the content was strong, the pacing was amazing, and it captured the festive Fortnite feel with a bit of a celebrity kick to it, and it still felt very current. It was one of the most enjoyable Winterfests in recent years. I definitely played a lot of Fortnite at that point, and I was very happy with that. Winterfest 2024 was a strong return to form. Epic clearly put more effort into presentation, pacing, and content delivery with Santa's Shaq, Santa Snoop, and Mariah Carey. The festive elements were better integrated into the game, cosmetics felt higher quality, and the event carried a sense of polish and had been missing this year before. It felt modern, well executed, and like Epic had learned from previous criticisms, making it one of the best Winterfests in recent years. But if any of you have done the math yet, I would say Winterfest 2021 was the best. Now, as I said, this is all for me, but the number 1 spot I say is 2021 because nothing had topped it, nothing could. This was peak Winterfest in terms of vibes, content, and how much I personally played. I played a lot of Fortnite at this point, but everything aligned perfectly with the atmosphere, the excitement, my engagement with the game, and I think at Winterfest at its best was this year overall. Winterfest 2021 is peak Winterfest for me. The lodge returned with a strong visual overhaul, more engaging interactions, and a memorable festive atmosphere. Players received high-quality free skins like Blizzabelle, along with multiple cosmetics that felt genuinely rewarding rather than filler items. The map changes, winter LTMs, and overall pacing made logging into each day feel exciting. With collaborations like Spider-Man and Boba Fett, this was also a period where Fortnite felt extremely alive, and my personal engagement with the game was at its highest, which elevated the entire experience for me. What did you think? What was your favourite Winterfest in Fortnite? Let me know in the comments below. But without further ado, everyone, that is the end of today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe and comment what else you would like to see on the channel. And hope you all have an amazing Christmas season as always, and I'll see you all in the next one, folks. Bye!
Yeah.